Okay, today we're going to learn how to multiply two-digit numbers. However, before we get started with that, I'm going to show you or just review how to multiply with one-digit numbers by two digits or a three-digit number. We're going to start off here by doing 3 times 4. So before you do anything, you write 4 times 3 over on the side, just to help you keep things organized. And then you're going to multiply it. So 4 times 3 equals 12. So then your 2 is going to go underneath the 4 for the 1 spot, because that's the 1 spot. You're going to carry the 1 because that's representing a 10. And then so then that's it for that first part. So next you're going to take 4 times 6 times 6. And then you have to add the 1 from the 12 up here, so plus 1. So before we go any further, I'm going to highlight these just so we don't get real confused. So we'll use that one for that color, and then let's use this one for this color. And then we'll have a number right there. Alright, so 4 times 6 equals 24, plus 1 equals 25. So now we've already done that over here, so all you have to do is make sure that you put the numbers in the right spot. 4 times 6 plus 1, 5. And then if we had another number right here, then you would multiply that number also, but you don't have to do that. So we're just going to write the 25. So 63 times 4 would equal 252. Now that's what we have already done. We've already learned how to do that. Now today what we're doing is we're multiplying by two-digit numbers. So a lot of the times when you see a two-digit number, you'll see them written like this. 24 times 32. When you're actually multiplying them, you have to put them going like this. I always put the bigger number on top and the smaller number on the bottom just because it's easier for me to do it. So, alright, so to start off, you start off by doing it just like when we were multiplying the one-digit number. You're going to multiply 4 times 32. So, but in order to make this easier, we're going to break it down. So we're going to start off by multiplying 4 times 2, which equals 8. So then I'm going to go grab my highlighter, and I'm going to make 4 times 2 equals 8. Okay. And then I'm going to highlight that again. Yeah, I won't mess with the highlighting. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do here is now we're going to multiply 3 times 4. And you just multiply 3 times 4 because you don't have to add anything that was up above it. So 3 times 4 equals 12. So now we don't have a number in the hundreds spot. So now you would just make sure you line it up and get it nice and neat and in order. And there we go. Okay, so now we are done multiplying by the ones. So I always cross it off just so that we know we're done with it. So now what you're going to do is now you're going to take 32 times 20. So this is where we're going to use the highlighter. So we're going to do this with red. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to multiply 2 times 2. Now you're not really multiplying the 2 times the 2. What you're really doing there is you're multiplying 20 times 2. But so before we can do anything else with that, we have to put a 0 right here because you're technically multiplying that by 20. So now if we go over here and we do 2 times 2, that equals 4. Now I'm going to write that right here. Okay. Then I'm going to go through here and I'm going to change my ink color again. And then now I'm going to go up and I'm going to go this way with it. Multiply going up here. So now I'm going to multiply 2 times 3. And that equals 6. So then I make sure that I get all those lined up nice and neat. And then now all I have to do is go down and add them. So 8 plus 0 equals 0. 2 plus 4 equals 6. 1 plus 6 equals 7. So our answer is 768. Now it's just the first example. We're going to do a couple more. But that's the basics on how to multiply two-digit numbers. Let's go and work on the next one. Alright, so the next one is 46 times 45. So I'm going to start off here from the beginning, and I'm going to highlight those just to show you what exactly we're doing next. So now we're going to start off by taking 5 times 6, and that equals 30. So draw the line here. Okay, so our 0 is going to go right underneath the 5. My 3 for our tens is going to go above the tens. And we're done with the first part. Now we're going to take 5 times 4 plus 3. And multiply by multiplying the tens spot. So 5 times 4, and then we have to add the remainder, plus 3. So that equals 23. So now we got to go over here, and now we're going to write 3 and 2. Okay, so now we are completely done. We don't have anything left to do there. So I'm going to cross off the 5, and now we're going to move down to the bottom spot. So now, we're technically multiplying 46 times 40 right now. So every time you do a multiplication number that's bigger than it goes into the 10 spot, you always add the 0 right here. It doesn't matter what it is, you always add a 0 right here. And then it just cuts out some of the extra steps later on. So now you just go through and you multiply like normal. So now you're going to go back in here, and this is where everybody always, or where kids always get messed up. Let's use that color. And actually, let's use a blue. Okay. So now we're going to go in here and we're going to multiply by the 4, and then so we're going to do 4 times 6 and then 4 times 4. So it gets a little confusing, but eventually we'll get there. Alright, so 4 times 6 equals 24. So now you're going to go over here and write a 4, and then I would cross out that 3 from earlier. And then we just carry the 2 right up above the 4. So now we do 4 times 4, which equals 16. And then we have to add the remainder from the one earlier, so that gives us 18. So now we've got 8, 1. You've got to make sure that you are keeping your columns lined up, because that is the other big problem that kids have when they're multiplying two-digit numbers. So now all you do is you go through here and you just add up the rest of them. 0 plus 0 equals 0. 3 plus 4 equals 7. 2 plus 8 equals 10. Carry my 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So that answer would be 2070. Alright, let's go through and do one more. I'm not going to do the highlighting. So we're going to start off by taking 4 times 6, which equals 24. So my 4 goes underneath the 1 spot, and the 2 for the 20 goes above the 10 spot. And the next part is 4 times 5 plus 2, and that equals 22. So I've got my first 2 goes under my tens, and then my second 2 will go under where the 100 spot would be. And then we are all done with multiplying by the ones. So now we're going to cross that off, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to put a 0 down because I'm technically multiplying this by 20. And so now I'm going to start, and I'm going to start off by going, you always start off by multiplying to the ones. So to the ones column. So 2 times 6 equals 12. So my 2 goes here, cross that one off from earlier. I'm going to write my 1, and then I'm going to take 2 times 5 plus 1 times 5 plus 1, which equals 11. And then I'm going to do that. Sorry, I'm running out of room here. Okay, so now I just go through and now I would add it. I'm going to write my addition sign over here. I know it's not proper, but I'm out of room. 4 plus 0 equals 4. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 2 plus 1 equals 3. And then 1 plus, that's 1. That is how you do multiplication by two-digit numbers.